Welcome to the bonus edition of the Life of Bryony. Today, Rhian Mannings is with us again, and she's sharing the 3 things that supported her as she navigated the terrible process of grief.
You've got to laugh. You've got to find those glimmers. You've got to get out. You know, there's that tough love. Like friends would come round to my house and say, right, we're going out. And I'd be like, no, I'm not. And I'd go and I'd always have a little bit of a giggle. I'd come back and just feel that tiny bit lighter.
My chat with Rhian coming up right after this. Welcome to the Life of You, where each week our guest talks about 3 things that have been essential to them in some way through the course of their lives. And for this episode, we wanted to do one specifically about the 3 things that supported you through grief. In case anyone is listening and they're lost in it and they don't know what to do. And we thought this would be a really helpful way of helping people experiencing bereavement right now. So Rhian, what would be your first thing that was vital to you during those darkest moments?
I think the first one is to take help. For instance, food packages.
Okay.
So we had a lot of food, and I always joke that the people of Miskin, where I live, only can cook lasagna because I had a lot of lasagna left on my doorstep.
Okay.
But food and tea bags, and when people offer, take the help.
Okay, so that practical stuff. Yeah. Is it useful as well if people sort of, I always think this, if they just take control and they do it, they don't ask you what you need, they just provide it.
I think that, this goes back to the sending a text going, are you okay? Because that's just such a wishy-washy question. It's better to say, I'm going to Tesco's, I'm going to pick up some milk and bread for you. Is there anything else that you'd like?
Yeah.
So it's a bit more of a directed question. Yes.
Because the answer to are you okay is no, I'm not.
It's no, we're not, or it's yes, I am, because you don't want to be a burden to somebody by telling them the truth.
So lasagna. I joke about it all the time. We had dishes of it left on our doorstep, but we had loads of amazing things. I had too many flowers. I had a lot of flowers. What flowers? And I'm imagining they're a bit of a no-no.
Some people love receiving flowers. I really don't like receiving flowers. My friends, family and colleagues all know that if it's anything, do not buy Rhian flowers. Nice plant, that'll do, but not flowers, because it just reminded me of that time. And also, just knock on the door and say, I hope you're all right, I'm not coming in, but just so you know I'm here. I think I used to get like the odd red heart text to me. Like, what does that really mean as well? So I think when you've been through things like that, it changes how you then treat other people. So like I wouldn't send a sympathy card ever again.
Right, okay.
Because I had a lot of those and they were just a little bit morbid, whereas a thinking of you card is what I would send now instead.
That's so interesting. And also, I guess that thing of sending someone a message and letting them know that they don't, like I always think that someone said to me that it helps when someone sends a message going, I just want you to know I love you and I'm thinking of you. You don't need to reply to this.
Yeah, it's really important because you get so many. Like I turned my phone off really when it all happened for a while, and I wasn't even on social media back then when my life was probably a lot more simple. But I think people want to do things for you. They want to just take your pain away, and that's something they can't do. So if there is anything else they can do small, just take them up on the offer. Because, if they want to do your ironing, if they want to do your washing, no one asks me anymore. But at the time, it just helps.
So what's the next thing that was invaluable to you during those dark times?
I think being open-minded about what may help you. So for me, counselling, I didn't know what counselling was. Again, there's that bit of stigma around counselling and therapy, but I tried it. Wasn't something beneficial necessarily for me because I, as you can tell, will talk to anybody. But things like I tried reflexology, I tried massage. Reflexology was an absolute game changer. It was absolutely amazing for me. I'd fall asleep, it'd give me some escapism. It was phenomenal. I've tried medication. I still take medication for my anxiety. I'm certainly not ashamed of that. Tried exercise. I think running a marathon was a bit extreme, but I tried to exercise. So just be open-minded and just give anything a go, because something may work.
And did you find exercise was a kind of meditative in a way? Because for while you were doing the exercise, you just have to focus on your breathing and basically just keeping going.
Oh, hugely, hugely. And I think, during lockdown, I had a Peloton, and I just love my Peloton. I'm on that all the time when I can be. And I just think, you're away from everybody. And it's hard because I've sometimes used to have my phone there trying to check my messages while I'm doing it. But you soon learn this is your time.
Yeah.
Half an hour. That's all you need. Half an hour of yourself. And actually, yeah. And I think it's a blessing to feel that. How do you explain it? You'll know when you're running, it's an amazing feeling that you feel, even though it's hard.
But after also, you spoke in the main episode about having 6 years of feeling nothing. And is exercise sometimes a way to just actually ground into what you're feeling in your body?
Yeah. You can meditate by running, the footsteps on the ground and things like that. And I do certainly, I like to listen to music. Some people say you're missing out on what's going on around you, but it's my time of putting on my music, which is actually quite, the music I listen to, is a lot of it was Paul's. And some of it actually is quite sad music, but it inspires me to run. But I think, for me, running has been huge.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the third and final thing that you would recommend that helped you during your worst moments of grief?
I think it's got to be laughter and glimmers, because you're going through the worst possible time. I had these children, Holly and Isaac there, and everything was really hard and really sad. And then there'd be something. I'll never forget Isaac saying, "Mummy, if Daddy's in heaven and he wheezes, is that what rain is?" And
what did you say to that?
And I was like, no, but you'd also laugh. It would make you laugh. It'd make you sad. But it'd also make you laugh and think, we're going to be all right. We're talking about Daddy, which is brilliant, but we're going to be okay. So you've got to laugh. You've got to find those glimmers. You've got to get out. And, if you're listening and you're supporting a friend, there's that tough love. Like, friends would come round to my house and say, right, we're going out. And I'd be like, no, I'm not. Well, we are. And I'd get quite funny with them about it. And they said, look, we're not going far, just down. And I'd go, and I'd always have a little bit of a giggle. I'd come back and just feel that tiny bit lighter.
So just allow it, allow those little moments, because they add up, don't they?
And they're there. But if you're not looking for them, you won't see them. So it's just trying. It is hard to do, but just try it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Rhian. I really appreciate you coming in and sharing that with us.
I've loved seeing you. Thank you for having me.
I am so, so grateful to Rhian for her profound words that I really hope provided some comfort to any of you who might be dealing with grief right now. If anything we've spoken about in the podcast have affected you, there are links to organisations that can help in the show notes, as well as details of Rhian's incredible charity, To Wish. Look after yourself, and I'll see you again on Monday.